Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the AirPod Pros 3s and compare them against the AirPod 3s, the standard versions, and see how these particular AirPods hold up and compare. Now, number one, a very big thing to keep in mind here between both these AirPods is that they're both very, very good types of devices. They're both built a little differently, but these are pretty much the third generation of devices that Apple has made for both of these particular sets of AirPods. So if you want to go through and pick up either one of these particular AirPods, links will be down in the description below. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these particular AirPods. The AirPods third generations came out back in 2021, so they've been out for several years now, so they're a little bit, older than you probably would expect, but they're not really terrible. They still look like very good looking AirPods for the most part. On the outside of these things, they're giving you their, standard type of casing. These things do come out in a lightning port situation, but the other ones do come out in a MagSafe charging case. So that is kind of nice, but typically lightning for, a vast majority of AirPods 3s. With the internal, when you actually look at the AirPods themselves, they have a little bit of a different design. They're a little bit bigger than a lot of other of the competitors. So especially when you compare them against the AirPods second or first generations. So if you put those in your ear, you're definitely getting a worse type of experience, at least fitting it in your ear compared to either a custom fit like a Pros 3s or like AirPods 2s. But if your ears, if they're okay with it, then they should be okay here. With the Pros 3s, these things are built a little differently. These things give you USB Type-C and MagSafe built right inside of the box. So that right there is a very cool thing to have. And definitely if you're going through and picking up a device like that, that is going to be a really nice thing to have from that particular, perspective. So if you're going to go through and pick up a pair of AirPods, you're definitely going to be getting a pretty good experience from these types of devices in that particular situation. But the Pros 3s, with those ear tips you can interchange and those things, that is definitely a much better experience. Now, you're also going to be getting a H2 chipset inside of the AirPod Pros 3s, where the standard 3s have an H1 chipset. So that right there is going to be a big difference, and there's a lot of differences when it comes down to the core features. The AirPods Pros 3s have active noise cancellation with 4 times more active noise cancellation than the original AirPod Pros. The AirPod 3s do not have any sort of noise cancellation. The Pros 3s also have adaptive audio and transparency mode. The standard 3s don't have it. And the AirPods Pros 3s contain things like conversational awareness, where again, the standard 3s do not support it. Now they both have spatial audio with dynamic head tracking, which is really nice. But again, there's a lot more features with the Pros 3s, like hearing aid and hearing protection, live translations, which is another really cool feature, and the Pros 3s contain a heart rate sensor. The standard 3s, once again, do not contain any of those types of features. So that right there, again, is a little bit of a downside. If you're going through and picking up a device, that is going to be a little bit of a downside when it comes down to that side as well. In battery life, the AirPod 3s are giving you 6 hours of listening time on the AirPods, but 30 hours of charge on the case, where the Pros 3s give you 8 hours of listening on the AirPods and 24 hours of listening on the case. So you're kind of getting worse and better battery life in both situations. So what I can tell you is the Pros 3s are significantly better than the AirPod 3s. But the situation too is if you have the AirPod Pros 3s, you can also go through and, you don't have to buy the Pros 3s. You can also buy the, AirPod Pros 2s or even the Pros 1s and still get better AirPods in some cases than the standard AirPod 3s. So the choice is yours, but that's pretty much how I see these types of AirPods holding up from that particular situation. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.